So, regardless of how you feel about review channels, review websites, they are here for to stay. They're here for the long haul because they want to be competitive and they actually want to provide informed views on video games. And so I do respect a lot of their work, even though, there are discrepancies here and there, and sometimes we have to point them out. I wanted to shed some positive light on this story. And the story is here on Polygon's website. And it's not news, but it's newsworthy. And so I decided to make a video about it because, stuff like this usually gets buried under all the noise and hype of video games. But let's point it out. Let's bring it up here. It says Polygon is updating its reviews program for 2018 and saying farewell to scores. Video games have changed. It's time we change with them. Games have changed since we launched Polygon. We're changing with them. We believe that a new strategy focusing on criticism and curation will better serve our readers than the serviceable but ultimately limited reviews rubric that for decades has functioned as a load-bearing pillar of most game publications. As part of the evolution, Polygon will no longer score reviews. As some of you have noticed, we've been quietly and gradually rolling out this change over the summer. Now, they're moving from reviews to a recommended, Polygon recommends type deal. So let's put this out here. It says, to help readers who are short on time know what to play, we will now include Polygon recommends badge on essays about games that we strongly believe most of our readers should play or watch. It's not a final verdict on the game, nor does it suggest we've played every moment of what the game has to offer. Instead, the Polygon recommends badge is a statement that we've played enough of the game to feel comfortable putting our support behind it. When a game receives the badge, it would appear at the top of the essay, review, or video. I think this is a good strategy for them. It reduces their amount of stress level because these video games these days, they give you a game to play and maybe the game has a multiplayer, component to it. And as a reviewer, your job is just to maybe play the story or maybe play some of that. And then when the game, launches and maybe people jump on the servers, then the servers are not bad. But by then, a company like this has already put out a 9 out of 10 for the game. But instead, they can now, reduce the liability and they just let the developers, take on the burden of actually delivering a good game themselves. So I think this is a good strategy. And, there's also the Polygon recommends badge is their way. So this says, Polygon recommends is our way of endorsing our favorite games. When we award a game the Polygon recommends badge, it's because we believe the title is uniquely thought-provoking, entertaining, inventive, or fun, and worth fitting into your schedule. If you want to see the very best of the best for your platforms of choice, check out Polygon Essentials, yada, yada, yada. They threw that out there. So a list of retroactive recipients of Polygon recommends. So they've also backtracked, kind of retroactively, put the recommendations on some games for the year 2008. And so I scrolled through and some favorites like Monster Hunter World, Shadow of Colossus, God of War. A lot of people liked Octopath Traveler. I've never played it before. Rocket League, Dead Cells. A lot of people like Dead Cells. Was it Dead Cells that caused a lot of issues? Or Octopath? It was one of them. And then Spider-Man. So these are the games that are actually getting this tag in the year 2008 series. I don't know, maybe Red Dead Redemption and all the others as they're coming out will get the recommendation badges as well. But there are also other games that are not AAA titles that, sometimes people are just interested in looking into. And so with the recommendation, you can actually have an informed view based on critical analysis and not just everything that's actually going to be, mounting up toward a score. Because to be honest, when, it was IGN that did their review for PES and that one really, that kind of was weird to me because that number, it seemed like PES was like unsatisfactory when it had a very core strength to it, which is the gameplay. I mean, yes, a lot of people are saying, you can't always harp on gameplay, but this is 2019. And to be honest, that's a big deal. Once you get past cosmetics, once you get past a few things, gameplay is still where it's at. So now we've identified, so what this has done for, and what this would do for games is you can identify the strengths of the game and now highlight its weaknesses based on those different aspects of the game. That's what I think. I think something like this would actually do a good job in setting, different aspects of a game apart and having the developers actually pay more attention. So now it's not just, they're paying attention to the community just saying all kinds of stuff. They're also paying attention to reviewers who are opinion people. They give opinions and you're paying attention and seeing aspects of the games that they can develop. There's nothing wrong with reviewers. I personally have no problem with them. They give opinions on video games. It's all they do. I give my opinions here too. So I'm not trying to, grandstand over, reviewers and all that stuff. So this, I think, is a great move and is newsworthy for, gamers. I would really encourage you to look at this article, and read it and just see what's going on. And, just in the comment section below, let's know how you think this is going to change, the whole, review and rating system. We also have other, places like Metacritic where their scores actually so sort of count, in a very significant way. If your Metacritic score is not good, that's a big deal for a whole lot of gamers. And so this may be a way for, these review companies to stop, to start taking their foot off the gas in the way they actually influence games. Because these guys, regardless of what we think of them, Polygon, IGN, all the other companies that do this, they're very influential. And so I think with their influence, they need to be very measured and they need to just do, the job in their own way. This I think is a good step for Polygon to take. I hope, IGN and the others with their scoring system will put that aside and just judge a game based on its merits and demerits and just recommend, buy or not. I mean, there are guys like ACG who is a boss at doing game reviews. I wish he'll do a game review of some of my favorite games though. But he's a boss at doing game reviews and, he does buy, wait, or sell. In fact, I saw, another gaming channel that actually did something quite slightly similar. I don't know who started it first, but man, like I said, ACG is a boss at this. And so he jumps into different aspects of the game that he picks, like scenery, music, lighting, all those things, even sometimes I think character conversations, ACG goes in as deep as possible. And so with guys like him on the internet, like, that's why this review actually cites that, there's been competition also from other, sources and other places on the internet that actually have shown that they can do more quality reviews. And I think Polygon wants to jump into that. So thumbs up to those guys who actually are pioneering, a new way of looking at video games. Because just rightly, as this article said, a video game as it comes out in, today may be very different, years later. Like Rocket League, 3 years from now, Rainbow Six Siege, different, they're totally different games from when they were released. And so I'm happy about this. I hope to see some positive notes. We're all in this whole, gaming scene together. So thank you for your time and audience. Thanks for, taking time to click the video. I appreciate your time and your audience. If you want more critical analysis and stuff in the gaming scene that not a lot of people want to talk about, hit the subscribe button and I guess I'll see you in my next video.